Hello, hello everyone. Now we are going to start. Today's topic is that like roadmap to learn automation testing tools, or mainly how can we upgrade ourselves. Okay, so because this COVID pandemic, right? So you must be hearing that many companies or many organizations are reducing their head count in projects or in company, right? So generally they didn't select people to fire randomly. There are some pattern, there are some criteria, like suppose there are 10 people, 10 key people in a project, and everyone has a similar knowledge or similar testing concept they know, right? So generally they will pick who has more experience, okay, or to whom they need to pay more, because nowadays what is trend, whatever work you are doing, okay, whatever testing activity you are performing, similar activities can be performed by a fresher or 2 3 years experience also. Even they can perform much it better, right? So company also think like, why I need to pay you more if it's the same work can be done by a junior or some 2 3 years experience guy? Why should I pay you more? Okay, so that is the biggest problem, right? So company also think, okay, because if they hire people with more experience, they need to pay more as per the market standard. Okay, so like if you know, when this pandemic started, I think before even jan in jan only I used to get a message like company are removing those people. Okay, and most of the people were 10 plus years of experience and they have no exposure of any automation testing tool. Okay, whatever you say that if you are completely in manual testing, or you have no exposure of any programming language or any automation testing tool, then it is really problem to survive in this situation. And this particular COVID situation proves that many people, you can see that they have only basic testing. They are very good in testing, right? They can think very good scenarios, or they can find the breaking point of an application, but company doesn't think about those things. They think, okay, this guy doesn't know selenium or this guy doesn't know java, remove him. So that is tendency actually. Whatever you show, whatever HR or manager will think in will post on LinkedIn and all. But the fact is that if you are only good in writing some test scenario test cases, but not have any exposure of programming language or tools, then it is problem for you. Okay, so it is high time, if you're a beginner or if you have 5 years experience or if you have 10 years of experience or whatever, you need to upgrade yourself. Okay, testing is not limited just to find bugs and report it. Testing has been evolved a lot. You need to perform you need to perform testing activities using functional testing. Whatever you do, like you write test case tester, and same you need to do automation scripted for that. Okay, so let's start. I will show you that how can you proceed for it and what are the common problem people face when they start and how they can overcome to it. And let's see, I have prepared some good points. Let's see if I think it should be helpful for you people. Okay, so so this is first point actually. So there is nothing called manual testing and automation testing, but the different ways of performing testing activities. Okay, so if you are active on LinkedIn, so you must have seen this hashtag, nothing called manual testing. Okay, so the point the actually the point of putting this hashtag here, that many HR simply writes that okay, they want only automation testers. Indirectly, whatever job description they write we don't want automation tester or we want selenium tester. Okay, so actually if you're good in programming or you write very good CNM code, but if you don't have any basic testing skills, because a tester mind is something who needs to think about the scenarios. Everything cannot be automated and everything cannot be thought in advance. Okay, until unless you have some AI and all, you cannot something. Suppose one website is given to you, how many automation script you will write on that? Some basics, right? But the thing scenarios, whatever that is coming from your mind. Okay, and when you can think of those things, then only you can automate it. Okay, so that is the thing. For this particular hashtag refers to those HR or company people who directly write they want automation tester. It's no more that who are performing testing manually, they have no advantage, or they have no, what do you call that, uh, importance. A tester should have knowledge to perform testing using multiple activities, if you're doing if you're at executing some test cases manually, or you're executing your test case from automation scripts. Okay, so again, second point, knowing only programming language does not make you a tester. Tester should have different mindset. Okay, and third point, being a tester does not mean that you cannot or not supposed to learn coding. So this is again like many people, if you see some old guys, right? Like when I started career, so I saw some people who were saying that we are tester, we should not have any knowledge of any programming language. We just need to write test cases, execute it, and update the status. That's all they were thinking. But no, that is not correct. At least in the agile methodology. Okay, and the okay. So the what is the final quality of a tester? That they should be able to stable the product. It's not like breaking the product. You need to find as many as flaws or as many as some bugs, or you to report it so that product can be more stable or clients should be happy. Okay, so nowadays tester has divided in so many things, like whatever business people decide, it may not be good for the client as well, because sometimes client says something, business analysts understand something else, they write some acceptance criteria different, developer understand that differently, and we tested we tested something in different manner. Okay, so we as a tester, we need to even think whatever the requirements are coming from client, how much it is feasible, or really really they are aware that whatever they are thinking, it's being implemented like this. So that is again different in agile. There are so many things, feedback and all those processes are keep going on. So but yeah, that can be taken a different part. But for a tester, your primary responsibility is that you need to stable the product. You need to find the need to find some flaws which are not matching with the requirement, and you need to be good in multiple testing activities. It may be your some manual things or some automation things, and you need to know programming language, you need to know some automation tools. That is the need of time. You cannot deny that being a just some manual tester you can be in industry. Okay, that is the hard fact. Okay, so the first thing, uh, excuse by tester for not to learn automation. Okay, so mainly the first is I'm a manual tester. There's nothing called manual tester. They need to be a tester with different testing activities. Okay, I'm not in touch with programming languages. That is the first thing, because when you become a tester, you think that no, you should not learn any programming language. You are just being afraid of those things. Okay, when you see some programming questions, or in interview they ask something like some string question or array question, so you are just simply saying no, no, it cannot be done. Many people are afraid of those things. Okay, and even I have met some people who has taken some electronics EC or triple E in engineering, or some even some biotech or civil guy, and those are working in IT. They were just afraid of coding, so they didn't take CSC or IT in engineering, but now they are working as a software tester, so that they will never touch the code. But that is not correct, right? At least for time being, it's not correct. Okay, and I cannot think of logic. Again, the same problem. It's again mindset, because they have being a tester, that they think that don't know we should not think about the code and all. So there are many tools. Yeah, that is again correct, because many people have says that okay, when they started learning, so they find there are so many tools like Selenium, Protector, Nightwas, some Cypress is going on. So they are getting confused, and they are not able to decide what to learn. And if they start learning one tool, they come to know that there's another new tool is coming. Okay, My project does not require automation. Yeah, many project does not require automation, but that doesn't mean that you should not learn it. Okay, and it has been many years without writing single line of code. So first point, second point, uh, third points are matching with that. Or I am a manager or I am a lead, so I just need to handle the team. No, there's no need to learn the coding for me. So there are many excuses for different people. So I've listed some of them here. But yeah, so the one thing that you cannot make any excuse now. Okay, so what should motivate you? That you need to survive in this industry. That is the hard fact. Okay, whoever started working some 20 years back, they must have settled well. But whoever in their starting of career or in the mid, they need to be uh, learn. They need to survive in this industry, and this industry has been agile. Okay, it's not only for the software development; it's for your for yourself also. You need to be agile. Okay, so okay, so this is the again one thing like mistake done by tester while learning automation. Okay, so generally, what is the famous question? Anybody who started learning automation, they will ask how much they need to learn Java to know Selenium, or how much they need to learn JavaScript to use Cypress. Okay, or how much is the minimum they need to prepare. They don't want to go any extra mile, or they don't even they even want to leave the small small topics as well. So that is the first thing they are doing the big mistake. Because if someone says that okay, you don't need the thread concept, okay, and you happily skip it, but in interview you cannot say that okay, I have got from someone that thread concept is not needed for the automation or QA, so I am not needed, please don't ask any question from thread concept. So that is not the correct thing. You should not put a cap first. You can, yeah, you can prioritize like what are the basic things you must know, and once you are good in those things, then you can upgrade yourself by learning some advanced topics. And there's nothing like if you know more, you cannot get some good coding. If you so like whatever, if you're good in programming language concepts, you can add better code. Okay, if you have like if you see some product based company automation framework, or you compare with some service based company automation framework, you will find a lot of difference there. Okay, what is the difference? Because they in product based company, they generally hire people who are very good in programming language, and whoever they will develop framework, obviously it will look good. So don't put a cap on your learning first. Okay, and directly focus on learning tools, in fact automation tools without basics. What is if you see the mini course content, what is the course content? 10 days Java, 30 days Selenium. So that is the biggest mistake. You cannot be good in Selenium or any automation testing tool if you are not aware of the uh, like basic concepts of programming. Only writing like, so if suppose if you are learning Java Selenium, and if you just know that how to get a class, or how to run a main method of a class, or some basic function construct and all, it will not help completely while learning Selenium tool. Okay, so you need to be good in programming language, then only you can learn any implementation tool. Okay, so think about this one. Nowadays, there are so many automation tools, UI automation tool for JavaScript, right? Now Cypress is going on. Before that, we have Puppeteer, and then there's so many other tools as well. But what is the common thing among all these tools? The programming language. If you are good in JavaScript or TypeScript, tomorrow any tools comes. If any tool comes, you can learn it easily. Okay, tool will be changing, but the programming will not be changing, right? There will be new tools, but the concept will be similar. That's why I always force that learn the programming language. Implementation is easier. Okay, so confused with lot of topics to be covered. Yeah, that is again because if you see the content, so there are a lot of topics. Okay, so generally many people are confused. Okay, these many topics, who will read or who will they need to master in all those things. So that is the first thing, like they get demotivated. Okay. Then learning just to clear interviews, this is the hard truth actually. So when I started taking the mock interviews, or when I take the real time interviews as well, many people I found that they have just simply mug up some code, and they speak the similar things in interviews. Okay, like suppose I ask someone like, what is page object model, or some page means I just simply add what design pattern you have used. So simply page object model, what are things. It's like whatever you see on the internet or something. If you ask some cross question, they will not able to answer it, because they learn something to clear interviews. But if you go in good, like if interview is good, he can ask some cross question, and he can easily find out whether you know or you have simply mug up. Okay. Lack of practice, obviously that is lack of practice. You, like suppose, generally if I don't ask question how you click or how you perform click on an element, generally I will ask, when you're performing click on any element, so what are the problems you have faced it, because this question will say that whether this guy has really written some lines of code, and what are the problems he has faced it. Okay, so this question will say that okay, how much you have experienced it. Okay. Then again, thinking in only the same way they learn. If you have joined some coaching institution or some online courses, so whatever code they write, you try to simply follow the similar kind of thing. If they've written a tier of, then you also write tier of. But because this happened recently when I asked that what is the difference between close and quit, so the answer was that quit is used in some tier of method. I said, from where tier of it coming? So it is coming from TSNG. So this is something like they need to understand why they are writing some lines of code. If you are taking some classes and they are writing some code for you, you need to understand each and every line. It's not that okay, they have created one class, so they have written one tier of method, they are calling quit method, that's all. No, you need to learn the concept. Okay. Then mugging up, that we covered. Not utilizing the available learning resources. Yes. So there's another question. If you see that Naveen's Facebook group or some Mukesh Advani's Facebook group, one question is very common. What is that? What is the base resources to learn this Java, or what is the base resources to learn Selenium? And people will give some names, random names, and people are strict to that. No, because everyone doesn't know everything, but everyone knows something, right? So you cannot stick to one people only. If you want to learn more, you need to listen to others as well. Okay. So if you listen to many people, then you will get to know, okay, these concepts are there, or you can implement the similar concept in different way. So everything matters. Okay. Lack of learning routine, so that is again the obvious thing. Like you completed the first chapter today, and after you skip 1 day or 2 day, again you starting the some part from the third day or fourth day. So while learning, you continuity is the important. Continuity is the important thing. You cannot skip by 2 days or 3 days. You cannot take break in between. It should be a continuous process, because you're working, right? You're working also, and by after completing all your office works. Okay. So you need to be sync with whatever you're learning, what you have learned yesterday. See, from that point you need to continue as well, right? So if you have continued to, at least you will be knowing, okay, so we are learning something. Previously we have uh, learned this one, and today we need to continue from this. So continuity is the key. Okay. So this we discuss like what are the common problems faced by some beginners. Okay. So let me start with like how you can start um, learning any automation tools. Okay. So again, same thing, like programming language comes first, not a tool. So if you see that which tool is very famous for the automation scripting, right? So generally you will get maximum people will suggest you Java Selenium. Okay, okay, that's not a wrong thing that it's you cannot use that one. Yeah, you can start learning with Java Seno as well. Okay, many people will suggest you go for any JavaScript tool, but yeah, that is again different choice. But whatever you are deciding, whether it is Java Selenium or you going to use Cypress or some protector, right? So for any tool, you need to learn the programming language. Okay, so suppose you decide that you want to learn Java, Selenium, and Protector Cypress. So don't directly jump into both the languages at once. Okay, first focus on one language, right? And I personally believe that Java is the best programming language to start with. Okay, because you find good resources on Java programming language, and at least you can relate many things if you start learning other languages. It's not that all the programming languages are completely different. Okay, so many concepts are similar, just the implementation is changing. Okay, so decide the language first and decide the timeline. Don't think about Selenium. Think about the programming language to be completed first. Then only go for the tool. Okay. So just wanted to share some tips like how can you start with. So the first thing, like focus on learning one programming language first. If you have the future plan, like you need to learn two or three tools. One is Java based or some JavaScript based or TypeScript based. So start with one programming language. It's not you should not do like today you are learning Java, tomorrow you are learning JavaScript, again you switch to Java, again JavaScript. No, continue should be to one programming language. If you're a beginner, okay, stick to one programming language. And then secondly, find a learning index of topics. Java is huge, right? There are so many concepts. There's so many concepts, and it is very difficult to decide like what to learn. Okay, and if you see the online resources, right? There are so many online YouTube channels or blogs who are covering Java. Okay, but if you see that, so many those are scattered actually. So they will continue something, they will again jump to some other different topic, then again they come to basic. So these problems are there. So to know what you need to learn, the best way to um, know about those topics is by referring a book. Okay, suppose if you heard the complete difference of Java, okay, if you see the indexing of that particular book of topics, so that is awesome. At least they have sorted it very well, like from where you should start and what you should learn first, then how can you proceed further. Okay, so from there also you can get the what are topics you need to cover. Okay, second thing, like you can ask some senior who is expert in that. Okay, so I'm planning to start learning an automation tool, so what are the topics I need to cover. Okay, so they can also see you that what are the topics you need to cover. Okay, and come up with the learning plan. Okay, so learning plan means you need to decide in how many days you're going to complete something, complete some topic. It should not be there like to learn Java only you spend it 6 months, because if you it take 6 months, then again it will problem for you, because we don't have time to revise every time, right? But if you plan like something, okay, first I have to cover all the basic within a month, and the next month also I will repeat the same thing. Generally I prefer that one. Whenever I study, whenever I prepare topic, so I say I don't follow with single resource. Similar topic I will try to refer with multiple blog, YouTube channels or books. Okay, and I will try to create a short notes for me. Okay, so generally I follow that thing, because no one can say everything, right? But if you like suppose if you see the static or non-static concept in Java, so you will find many resources online, and everyone can say you something new. And it is always good to refer the similar concept or similar topic from multiple sources. But yeah, again, this should not be followed in beginning. You should follow whatever you are learning. sorry, you are following one video, complete that. Once you are good in on those concepts, then go and research more. Okay, then again make quick notes. That is the ultimate thing, because you cannot, suppose if you, there's one video of 1 hour, you cannot watch again and again, right? But if you have some short notes, so you can at least go through that. And you know something, bookmarking option, if you are referring some Udemy courses, so you can bookmark there. If not, if you are learning, if you are referring some YouTube channel, then at least you can mark some time there. Okay, at this particular time they have explained this particular topic or particular concept. So this also helps. So shortness always helps. And this is also good if you're going for interview. Okay, so you can quickly revise it. While sleeping also you can revise it, or whenever you getting the free time you can revise it. Okay, so short notes always help, right? Then ask others to take mock interviews. So this is the best thing. You can ask your senior or whoever learning with you, they can also ask to you, right? Because when you when you take some mock interview, you will also understand, okay, what others are expecting from me. Okay, so you are always welcome to send me a mail whenever you want, you think that you are it, you would like to take some mock interviews, so I will be happy to help you. Okay, and the last one, practice and practice. Watching videos will not help until unless you pause the video, you open the Eclipse or any ID, whatever programming language you're using, open the related ID, write some lines of code, see, observe the output, and write the comment within that program and with the output. Okay, what actually happened and why why this output is coming. Okay, so that is the best thing. Okay, so practice matters. Okay, and one thing, don't directly practicing on ID is not always good. You should also use paper and pen. If you are giving any programming taste, right? So generally they will not give you any suggestions, right? If you perform, if you do some dot and then you have something, you're thinking that you will get some method name suggestion, so you may not get there, right? So writing on pen and paper always helps. Okay, so the fine learning automation tool is easy if you are good in programming. So everything is coming to the programming language only. How much, if you are good in programming, you can learn that automation testing easily, right? Because if you just see the example of Selenium only, same is very easy tool to learn. You have method to run click. Suppose you want to click on a web element, you have click method. You want to type something, you have send case method. You want to switch to window, you have switch to dot windows. You can use that one. Those things are not a problem. But if while performing click on a element, you get some exception, like some stray element exception or some click intercepted exception. So if you want to handle this thing properly, right, like you want to retry it, okay, or you want to give you want to wait something and then you want to retry, right? All these retry mechanism can be implemented from the basic core Java concept, right? You need to use the try catch, or you need to use some looping concept, everything. These are coming from the Java basic programming concept, right? Selenium will give only a method to click, but how can you make it proper? That again depends upon your programming language skill. Okay, so generally you heard the keyword-driven framework, keyword-driven framework. Generally, if you see the keyword-driven framework, a keyword is the strongest, or a keyword is something which performs or which takes care of everything. Like suppose for an example, suppose you need to type the first name in a text box, right? So I want to create a keyword which will take care of all the prerequisites and post-requisite things. For example, before typing in an element, I need to check whether element is found or not. Then if element is found, whether it is enabled. Enabled means it should be, user should be allowed to type there. Okay. then you can check it when you are performing, when you done with the typing, then to get the text back and check whether whatever you have typed that actually has been typed or not. So this is the things you need to include in the keyword, right? There are many other things you can include for reporting stuff, for logger stuff. There's so many things. All this can be done if you are good in programming. Okay, with the try catch, with the while loop, whatever you want to do, everything requires you programming the concept. Okay, so the point is that you need to be good in programming language concepts. Okay, to learn the automation tool. Okay, so again same thing, like how can you start. So this I cover, like online materials are scattered and good only if you have basic knowledge in advance. If you search Java tutorials, right, so you find so many YouTube channels, right? But if you go inside, many people has simply left in between, or they have not continued topic by topic, right? So if you see a second point, like accept the fact that knowledge is not available in free. That is correct. Yeah, because see, if you want to upgrade yourself, you cannot stick to some free resources, because you'll get something in free which is available in like everywhere. Okay, so if you see, there's so, if you refer Udemy or really, right, so there's so many good authors, they have posted their course. Okay, spending some bucks is important if you want to grow yourself. Okay, so generally whenever I decide to learn something new, firstly go for some this Udemy or somewhere else, right? Because from there I get one course, I complete it, and from there I get the basic idea, basic flow, everything. Then I go for some online tutorials or some officer document and all. Okay, because from Udemy or from other sources I get a flow. And obviously, like if someone is putting their effort, so they're expecting something, and it is while learning. Because see, if you learn some automation skills, right, it will increase your value to the organization. You can get good hike. Everything matters, right? So I don't think that spending a buck is like you should not do, because there's so many online resources and all. No, you can see there's always some offers going on. Spending 500 or 1,000 rupees is not a big deal. Okay, and third point, like everyone has different mindset and grasping skills. So because what if I can think, suppose I'm average student or average learner, right? So generally whenever I see some video, or whenever I take some, if I've taken some offline classes, okay, so problem is that I cannot grasp if some other like quickly. Okay, but some other people can grasp this quickly, or they can understand something much better, right? So everyone has different mindset and grasping skills, right? So if you are like, if you feel that okay, it's going it is bouncing from your head, or you're not getting the concept, or you're struggling a lot to get the uh, points as well, point, so don't worry about that, because that happens because this is something like you cannot be in master every time. At least for the first time, in the first attempt you cannot be master, right? You need to practice more and more. Okay, so do not lose confidence if you don't get the concept, or if you don't understand in one time. Make the notes, ask people, ask them. There are so many good groups, you can ask them, and feel free to ask actually. If you are a senior person and you think that okay, some junior knows better than you should not feel say okay, what if I ask him. This actually happens in at least in India, right? Some senior people are not they don't accept that okay, they can learn from junior as well. Okay, because learning should be from anyone can learn from anybody, right? So that should be the thing. But again, that junior should also be some respectful, yeah, because if I know something, and if someone doesn't know that thing, so I should not say that okay, this guy doesn't know anything. This happens, right? So generally I try, whatever company I have worked on, so generally I used to do some uh, KT session, and even motivate some many people to start giving some KT session on at least once in a week. That is very good thing. Even you can suggest in your company also, because if they take sessions, you'll also learn, right? So dedicate at least a hour on daily basis without fail. That is the first thing, because when I also started learning, so this was the major problem. Okay, because that time also I am from IT background, but you know what, how the um, like how much we are serious in engineering colleges, right? So when I started learning Java after coming to Bangalore, then I was not getting understanding the concepts, so I was getting a lot of frustration. Then simply like I was jumping from here this topic to that topic. So and there's no plan, there's nothing uh, we're simply attending the interviews, we're not preparing well. So there's so many things happen with me as well. So but what I found that I am not concentrating on the learning, or I'm not giving the proper timing to it. So from that I fixed that okay, from today I need to give 2 hours on daily basis. I if I was okay if to complete a one topic I spend the full day or full that 2 hours. But if I get that thing properly, then only I used to go for next topic. Okay, so that type of continuity you need. Okay, again there are multiple sources to get knowledge. If you are if you are good in basic understanding that particular concept, yes, if you're done, there are multiple resources. Okay, because same concept can be explained in different ways by different people. Okay, and second, last one, attitude to learn, not to show off. Yeah, because I have seen many people really. In fact, they they get knowledge something from somewhere else, and they try to okay, they know everything, or they simply try to force. Um, okay, so take one real time example. Okay, so I will not use the company name, but when I joined that company, so there was a senior guy. Okay, so the like we got recommended me to develop one automation framework. Okay, so like when we started developing, so he started putting like he started forcing that we need to use only this way or that way. So that again goes wrong, because when you're working in a team, so everyone needs to go together, right? So that's again attitude, like how you deal with someone. Okay, if you're suppose someone is very good in technical, but they don't, but they think that others are waste. So those things are not helping you again. Okay, so I think we are I have covered all the slides. Like I'm not focused on a individual tool, because that again different thing. Like but the how you start, you should get the points from here. Okay, so yeah, so mainly this the basic points I want to cover. And uh, I think you people can start asking some questions, or some very like if you're confused, like or some you're not able to concentrate, or whatever problems you have in learning the automation. Okay, you can ask if you have any question.
Hi, Amod.
Yeah, hey.
This is Chaudhary actually. So I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
So currently I am working on functional testing, but although I have knowledge on Selenium and Core Java,
Mm-hmm.
what I feel is sometimes when I am writing the code on Core Java, I don't
Mm-hmm.
find that much confidence. And also in interviews, when some particular question is being asked, I am giving the answer, but what the interviewer is expecting, I'm not satisfying his requirement. And sometimes I feel like I'm not good in that much logical skills. So my question is, as a functional automation tester, because in office also you know that very well that even if you some maximum company I'm telling, but I may be wrong. but when they are hired you as a functional automation tester, but it doesn't guarantee that you will be completely working in automation. So I think if you can work on 30% automation, most of the time you will be on functional testing. So how we can handle that scenario and how we will be good in logical reasoning and also good in program? Is it only we need to practice and for the some concept as you already explained, we need to go through different videos and until and unless we make sure that that topic is we are smart enough to just handle that. So how we can handle this? Because I just wanted to be strong in core Java and also that I will grasp interview, but in offices actually there are things going on which are not in my control, and then I need to focus on more time on functional testing because sometimes client is also asking functional testing wise and automation we are lagging behind, so only we have less time to do automation.
Yes, that is the correct thing, that in many organizations they you'll not get all like 100% automation work. You need to do some functional testing and then some part in automation as well. Or you will find that automation testing team is different only, and some people are always dedicated to functional testing. So that is obvious thing. So that is not actually the problem. Will be here, like if you don't write some code or you don't write actually automation scripting, so you'll not get some experience or you'll not get some exposure, right? So see, and actually what is the problem here when you learn some like suppose you said that you have experience in Java and Selenium, right? So if you see the logic building, like logic matters. Like suppose for an example, just think of you are search something on UI and you get a suppose 10 rows of data, and being an automation tester or a function tester, you need to validate those data are correct or not. So generally you will hit an API, or maybe you, if you have access to database, then you will query the database. Then you try to simply match with the rows, right? Whatever rows are coming from DB, you need to match with the UI. So this particular logic can be written in multiple ways, and that depends entirely like how much you can think. This is completely logic driven. Someone will write by matching one after another. Someone will write some logic which can do rows by matching, or someone will do some column by matching. Okay, so this is again logic. So the best thing to build logic is solving the programming questions. Okay, so there's some, if you heard of lead code, right? Lead code or hacker rank. Okay, so
Yeah.
uh, lead code, hacker rank, or coding bat, right? So if you see this website has a lot of programming questions, and if you practice, okay, so again the best thing is that if you take any program of lead code, so you think of first you think of one logic, you write it, you get the output, but you're not done actually, because you implemented your logic but you didn't focus what others are thinking. You cannot say that you are a very good automation, good programming, you have very good programming skills, and whatever logic you've written everyone is thinking the same. No, once I submit any logic to any lead code program, I generally go to discussion tab and I see what others logic has been written by other people. Because when you're seeing the codes of other, obviously you learn more. Okay, this can be done like this way also. This can be done like this way also. Okay, so that helps. So you need to refer the others code as well. Okay, like recently I got to know one thing, suppose when you need to split a string based on some delimiter, right? And like suppose I want to filter, I want to take only those splitted value whose length is not empty, means there should be some character in that. So I was simply doing first split, then take the count, take the length, then filter it out. But there is one split method, overloaded method, where you can pass the limit. Like suppose if you don't want any empty value, then simply you can string dot split, then delimiter comma -1. So it will automatically remove your empty part. Empty if you're splitting, if you any part is empty, it will not include that into string array. So if I from where I got to know when I saw some other people programs. Okay, so you need to build your logic from that way, because obviously what is the main concept asking these many questions? If you see, if you attend any Amazon or Flipkart or some other product based or some startups, they ask only these type of questions, because how you solve these problems, it will see them how good you are in logic. Clicking or typing or switching a window is not the, it will not prove that how much good you are in logic building. But if I remember that like many people are not able to even reverse the string also, or they have only one way to reverse the string which is available online anywhere, right? But how can you think more? Okay, or everything is from if you practice more. Okay, so I would suggest you that follow lead code, follow this hacker rank as well. Why hacker rank? Because hacker rank generally give the problems in a statement. Okay, so
Yeah.
that I like. Okay, so you can follow the hacker rank as well. And yeah, one
And
thing.
yeah, the data
Yeah,
structure technique we need to learn. Is it?
yes.
I mean, I
What?
can see the, sorry. I mean, data structure concepts. So many companies are asking to just check the logical knowledge, I guess, or how good you are
Correct.
in uh, problem solving or something.
Yes, they need. They will ask. If you're going in any product based or any study, they will ask, because these questions directly show your skill. Okay, and if you see the interview pattern, if you are not solving any programming question completely, but if your approach is at least correct, so they will select you. Okay, it's not
Yeah.
like if you're not able to reverse the string, then you're gone. But you are, at least you are thinking, because thinking matters, right? Because you, when you're sitting at this in interview, you cannot think everything, right? But in what
Yeah.
whoever taking interview, they know all its solution. But if you
Yeah.
keep calm and just follow the process, follow the some follow going into the right direction, that is more than enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Amod.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Amod, Keshav this side. So I have a
Yeah.
small question that actually I have facing a problem since last 8 months since I joined my new company. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
they had promised me that you will work on automation a little bit, because in my previous company I was working on Protector since 1 year or almost.
Okay.
So I told them that I will work. I have an experience on Protector, and I, since your application is on Angular, so I can work. So they told me that we have 30% 30 to 40% requirement in automation, and rest is of manual. But when I joined 8 months back, so from that day till now, they have not given me a single automation task till now. I had a chat with my manager, and he told that we have a project which is in line for the improvement of our front end, and in that you will be involved in Angular, but you need to just focus on the product more. So they told that you have to learn about the product more, so back end, front end, everything when you get, and you have to practice on the manual side first. You for 6 months, 8 months, and then we'll start off with the automation task for you. So my problem was that in 6 or 8 months I have practiced many kinds of framework, single run pattern and page object model, Cucumber framework. I have hybrid 3 to 4 variants of hybrid framework I have tried and developed on my own. But problem is that since I am not into, on a daily basis I'm not working on either Selenium or TypeScript or JavaScript or anything. means on the tool which I have worked in till now in last 2 3 years. So the concepts are means getting skipped from my mind. So how to means deal with this kind of issues, because on a company day to day basis you are not doing any automation task, but you have a previous experience, you have developed and you have learned the concepts to a certain extent on a, but since you are not dealing with them on a daily basis, so you are not getting an exposure. So how to deal with this problem?
Why don't you write blogs, or why don't you create so many repository and upload on GitHub, Bitbucket, and make people aware that okay, you have developed something, and they can if they want to learn from this, they can, like for the beginners or for intermediate, or you can say that okay, you have explored something, and this is the GitHub link, right?
Yeah,
See,
I
because you
had
can.
means uploaded some of my variants on GitHub, but since they were obsolete almost 1 year back, I had to means made some changes. So after that, I'll means upload them. I'm planning to upload them on GitHub again in a new repository. So after that, means I'll publish them, and then I'll post. I was, but problem is with my on a personal level. I'm asking that how to means get a regular exposure of automation on my side, because I want to be in touch, but I'm not able to get in touch with the automation on a daily basis. So only this problem I'm facing.
Yes, that I got to know that you want to be in touch with that. So that's why I think there are so many ways actually. Even you, if you're good, you can start freelancing as well. There are so many freelancing website where you can register and you can earn as well. Right? It's not if you're thinking that only in office you can implement your logic, so that is again not correct. Right? You're restricting yourself for the company projects only. And that is very obvious actually. This doesn't depend on manager whether they are going to start automation or not. That depends on a client also. Many company I have seen many projects that like many company will not push for automation, because if they push for automation, they know that they will lose the maintenance for this project, right? So just for your sake, they will not put the automation there, right?
No,
So
but
don't restrict yourself.
actually problem is that 3 or 4 members in my means team, they are working actually from Ireland, so Dublin, so they are working on automation, but from the same team I am also working, but I'm not given any task. So that is a kind of means a kind of distinction which a manager has done between the team members. So it's
Yes.
up to him, but I can't do much. But on my side, what I can do, uh, that I wanted to know on a personal level what I can do.
See, again, I think this is more related to your manager or like if you have the HRD, you can directly talk to them. But if you want to keep update with your like skill set of practice, then you need to do all this system, whatever I said, like GitHub, or you can take some. You can even if you want to take session from this retarget common people, you can approach to me. I will schedule a session for you as well. See, it's all depends upon you, like how you want to be in touch with all these concepts. Okay.
Okay. So
Otherwise,
what I
do
can
some.
do is that I can post on I can keep working on building new frameworks, developing them, and posting on GitHub.
Yes,
And
yes,
second
and
thing,
think about the
second.
scenarios. Think about the scenario.
Okay.
Like you see the many questions. Like if you see someone recently has posted that he was asked in interview, like open the interview weather and take all the city's temperature and sort it, right? So you can,
Okay.
okay, when you get this scenario, go and try to automate, then post, okay, I saw this particular question, here is my solution.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
that you can think.
So I can also means from Stack Overflow, many automation questions are being posted. I can means try to solve them.
Correct.
That will also help
Yes,
in getting touch.
yes, yes.
And at last, can you tell me some website also for means for freelancing, if so
You
that I
have
can
some
be in.
teachers on, there's something. Uh, Teachers on. This is the good website for freelancing. Upwork is very difficult to get the profile approved, but yeah, you can try Teachers on. And maybe you can ping me personally. I will suggest to some websites. So, but yeah, just make sure that it's not contradicting with your company policy.
Okay, okay. No, no, it will. I hardly because none of my team members are sit in India. Neither my manager is an Indian, so they hardly don't would be having any idea about this.
Yeah, so that you can do. You can
Okay,
take some
thanks.
YouTube. You can start some YouTube channel also. You can connect some Greek, conduct some sessions. Yeah, because when you
Yeah.
share your knowledge, obviously others will also learn and you will also improve.
Yeah, that is what I was thinking this afternoon also. That means I can gather some 3 or 4 people and then teach them.
Yeah,
And when I teach them, I'll get to know a chance of studying more about new
yeah,
topics. So to teach them, and in return, I will also learn about more topics.
correct. You can even help some freshers because
Okay.
freshers are generally not able to, because if they are not earning, so they may not
Mm,
pay you the fees, right? But at least you will be
mm.
happy you are helping someone.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you are right. So I'll start off with these 2 3 things. Or YouTube channel is actually a very big thing. So apart from
Yeah,
that, I
YouTube
can.
channel. Yeah, but you can always submit some Medium articles as well, right?
Uh-huh. Okay,
In
okay, thank
Medium
you.
you can submit, or Ministry of Testing you can also do some post on LinkedIn. Make the some LinkedIn post with the good content. People will notice you that okay, this guy has some good knowledge and he's posting so many good blog links or some fundamental concepts.
Okay, okay,
So you have so many things
thank
to explore. It's good that you can explore more and you can learn.
thank you.
Okay. Any other question, guys?
Yeah, Amod, this is Lakshmikant here.
Yeah, hi
So,
Lakshman.
yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank you for all the sessions and all the help you are doing. It really helps. Like when we started our career as a testing, there was no blogs, there was no much YouTube channels, there is nothing. So anyone fresher who is coming into the testing field nowadays, from the first year or after 6 months, they have started to learn coding and everything. So during this situation, I would really thanks a lot to all your contributions. It really helps a lot of people, which they might not express properly, but it really adds a lot of values and to their life and to their career as well. So I would just
Thank you.
like to know, yeah, do you have a specific Telegram or any other channel where we can ask our questions or ongoing challenges or some topics you would like to share? Do you have any other platforms as well?
Yes, I have Telegram group. So if you, I don't know if you have my mail ID or something. So you can uh, just send me a mail if you have my email ID, or if you have my contact number, you can message me. So, or even if you face any problem, you can drop me a message. Maybe I will not reply immediately, but yeah, when I get time, I will reply for sure. Because I get a lot of message and it's really difficult for me to reply quickly. But within 2 days or 3 days, I generally reply.
Sure, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So you do have my email ID?
No, I don't have.
Okay, so if you go to my blog also, so it is there on top.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Next question, guys, if you have.
Amod, what's your thoughts on the DevOps side? How much we should know DevOps in automation?
See, again, this question I also think questions like being a tester, how much you know DevOps, that is again, I think that is wrong question. Okay. So because DevOps is completely, see, if you are a tester, so just if you know some basic of Jenkins or some Maven or some Git, so that is more than enough, right? Some basic AWS concepts, right? But if you want to go deeper in DevOps, so that's a much better field than QA. Okay. I am telling this being a tester, but if you are going to DevOps field and you want to you need to learn more tools in DevOps. Okay, so just decide, being a tester you want to learn DevOps, or you want to be a DevOps professional. If you are being a tester, you want to learn DevOps, then basic Jenkins configuration, some Docker knowledge, some Kubernetes knowledge, and then Git and some basic of Maven are more than enough for you. Okay, because in interview they can ask you a lot of questions, but in real time even you don't get chance to configure Jenkins job as well. Okay, so that is fact. Okay, but if you want to be you want to be a DevOps professional, then that is the best thing. Learn. There are so many tools. Whatever things are coming, there are so many new tools are being added in DevOps. Okay, and that will be the key factor also in future, because anyone can replace. If you know 100 tools of 100% testing tools, okay, someone will replace you for sure. Okay, but DevOps, it's completely like experience. Whoever has really worked, they will have different level of different level of knowledge, or architectural design is what you call concepts. Okay, so yeah, so decide like how you want to go to DevOps, being a tester or a complete DevOps professional. If you attended the last session of Akash Kumar, he was also an automation tester. Okay, and when he switched from automation test to DevOps, he's saying that he started like his salary has grown like anything, and because he added so many things like AWS also, Azure also, so he used to get a lot of job calls or some package as well, and some good work to do as well. So decide like how you want to move to DevOps. Okay.
Thank you, Amar.
Hi Amod, this is Ayappa. First of all, I would like to be thankful to you. So yeah, I have go through the Akash session. So as a automation tester, is the right career path to switch to DevOps, means for career upskill like that. So I want to know,
Yes.
means is this right to choose?
Yes, there's no like this is not a wrong decision that if you're moving to DevOps. Okay, even
Okay.
I have seen some people who are moving to development as well, because if you if you see if you accept the truth, nowadays many companies are expecting their developers to write the automation code, right? So it's maybe in future no one will hire a QA, right? They will think that everything is automation. Everything is automation. Developers can write. Developers can find bugs in their own code. It is
Yeah.
actually happening also. So not sure like what is going to happen, but that this is the hard fact. Whatever people say that testing cannot be go, but it is hard to that in future maybe developer will write the script for you, or they will only test their own code. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it is good to if you're moving to DevOps, or if you're moving to some development skill, everything is good.
Yeah.
At least
Thank
if
you,
you're in
Amod.
QA, at least try to move to SDET. At
Yes,
least
that.
SDET, because
Okay.
SDET will have future.
Okay.
At least in the product based on startup companies. So
Okay,
learning
Amod.
DevOps
Yeah.
is good.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Amod.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, next question if you have any.
Lakshmi here again. So last time we conducted the database sessions, and I think when the next sessions will come on different concept like joins and all.
I think it should do. I am planning actually, so I will inform. But maybe actually I am planning to cover some Selenium crash course kind of thing in next sessions, so that it will help people. It will help the QA community. So after that, I can plan for that thing. Actually,
Thank you.
I had planned to have 2 sessions in a week, but then because everything I need to manage, so it is very difficult for me. That's why. But yeah, surely I will plan it. And I'm feeling that this particular initiative is helping a lot of people, and even many people are finding good that they can come and they can showcase their talent as well. Because out of I think this is 9 session, and out of 8 session, 4 people were completely new. Okay, and they really felt good that they had did something for community, and that is the thing. Because see, like you should think that if you share your knowledge, it's learning for both of them, right? So actually I will bring more people on board to take good sessions.
Thank you.
So guys, next question if you have.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi. Amo, can I have your email ID so that I can be added in your Telegram group?
Okay, I will be pinging in chat so that you can take from
Yeah,
there.
please. Yeah, please do that.
So I pinged you there. So just drop me a
Okay.
mail
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
so
Sure,
that I
sure.
will send you a link.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So guys, next question if you have.
Hi Ahmad, this is Mahesh here.
Hi Mahesh.
Actually, I have a question. Currently, I'm working as automation engineer. Parallelly, I'm working on like SAP applications with different tool, or like Warsaw Certify. And meanwhile, I'm working as in same project. I'm working as like I'm automating by using Selenium some SAP applications.
Okay.
Okay, but now parallelly we are working on we are taking from SAP Certify taking some inputs and we are inputting through Selenium some SAP portals like output by using Selenium. Okay, on that time whatever we are doing, it's working fine. When we go for Jenkins to trigger that SAP portals, sometimes that SAP portals are keep on loading because that application is developed by some AngularJS.
Mm-hmm.
Every field whenever inputting is taking when I'm putting any field, it's going to database, it's checking, and afterwards it's saving the data. On that time, how we can handle like that of applications? Because no, whenever we want to input any field, it's taking while clicking enter, it's taking time to check database whether proper data is fetching or not. Afterwards, it's saving.
See, like this type of dynamic application, if you are using some Selenium, right? So you need to put retry mechanisms here. Like you need to retry till some
Okay.
particular action is done or particular action like a pre-setup should be done for that. Like you said that your application keep loading, right? So
Yeah.
and it is happening, you know that this happens in between, right? So like if you have some common one, like you are waiting for 30 seconds and they are coming out. So this may not serve the purpose, right? So for this type of
Yeah.
application, you need to have some retry mechanism implemented where
Hmm.
so generally what I will suggest, like suppose you have simply set one implicit wait of 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Or so you're trying to you're trying to check the ability of some element. Okay, so
Yeah.
generally if it's not available within 30 seconds, it will fail. Okay, but suppose some element takes extra time, so
Correct.
always try to put some explicit wait in instead of implicit wait. But yeah, there's one thing, like if you're using implicit wait only, set the implicit wait time for it. Okay, then
Okay.
retry it till you get it. Then you have find it. Then again reset that implicit wait to 30 seconds or whatever you have default value. Then go for the next step. Okay, but yeah, for these all these scenarios, you need to understand your application because this is completely depend upon how this is behaving. Okay.
Okay, because now sometimes you will get immediately you will get the data will be saved. Sometimes it's keep on loading. We added based
Mm-hmm.
on that we are getting timing also we are increasing.
So this is happening in automation. Sorry, during functional testing as well.
And
Like
not
when it
functional testing. When we do
no
manual
means
also
when,
same thing. It's
yeah. So yeah, then is there some application issue as well? So you need to handle this accordingly in your automation script with the retry mechanism, custom retry mechanism.
okay.
Okay. I'm not saying you that
Mhm.
retry of some SNG or something. Retry mechanism means uh, you need to keep trying something when till something is not ready or not met. Like database connection, until unless you didn't get the output, you should not terminate the program, right?
Yeah.
So like that.
Okay.
Okay.
And one more thing. I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
See, normally, as per my knowledge, when we started career of testing,
Mm-hmm.
we are interacting with developers and we are fixing the, we are finding the bugs and we are sending the mail to developers whether this application not working properly. We have bugs like that. We are thinking like parallelly we are doing with the testing and developing with the developers, talking with the developers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in our case, in my company, we are getting all the applications from client side. Now we are getting some applications. Just we are inputting like a different set of data, and we are developing the script. Currently, which we are doing.
Okay.
Okay, what is the difference between what we need to tell? Because in interview they will ask either if you have any bug, how we will coordinate with the developers. Normally they will ask like that of questions, right? But in
Okay.
our
So
case, we are not treating any developers. If any issue will come, just we need to implement functionality like clients, like business people. We need to inform.
mm-hmm. So what I feel that you are getting already developed application and you're just doing the
Yeah,
automation of those things.
correct. Because they are based on country, they are giving some different random set of data.
Okay. Okay.
Based on that, we need to we need to develop the application. We need to automate that scenarios.
Okay. So how much experience you have?
Currently, 3 years.
Okay. Okay. So maybe this is your first company.
No, second company.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe you have less experience. That's why you have not may got exposure of these things. But yeah, if you, it's not the thing that everywhere you get a similar kind of work. Okay. So if your
Oh,
application not being developed or application is already developed, then you need to do simply automation of that if they are requesting for that, right? So
yeah.
the what is the basic strategy that remains same? Okay. Someone like uh, like when I started my career, so I remember that my developer team was sitting some different place and we to send like when to raise a bug, then it used to solve by after 2 days or 3 days. Means they used to do start working some basic stuff, right? But nowadays everything has been changed. If you are working agile, so every issue is fixing, like developer is fixing quickly, right? So this type of pattern remains
Yeah.
same. So if you interview, they ask, right? So you can simply say that okay, they like it's not necessary that you need to say everything truth in interview. Sometimes you need to show your thinking skill as well. Okay, so you have followed this process so that it has some less take, it has taken some less time to get it fixed or for retesting. Okay, so it's not like whatever you're following current project only that only you need to say. This should be your this should confirm your overall experience. Okay, but this is a normal
Okay.
pattern. You need to find a bug. You need to report using some tools, or suppose if you're working in a startup or some small company, so you may have some shared Excel sheet. Okay,
Yeah.
everything happens there, so you can just say that like that.
Okay. Like whatever we need to daily process, we need to create the story and we need to make it that.
Yes, so create the story means a story should be created by some Scrum Master or
Yeah. Yeah.
product
Yeah.
owner. So you need to add some QA tasks or need to add bugs if you find like that.
Okay.
So generally, this question, this answer should be part of what is your end-to-end activities in your company. In that, you can cover
Correct.
this point. Otherwise, I don't think they will ask explicitly that okay, how you reporting this kind of thing. Maybe they may ask some like how you when you raise a bug, so how you're following it up, okay, or how it is being taken into company, okay,
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, thank you. And I have one more question. I'm getting cast because is this the right time to switch like different company? Because if suppose if I switch new company, if a project because I'm the new joiner for that company, right? Because if suppose project is there, if I can work, if project is delayed to come means, and that how it will be situation.
No, see, if there's no problem in your current job, stay there, okay, at least for
Okay.
6 months. Okay,
Okay.
because at least you're safe there. Yeah, that this I have taken because some of my friends just switched in Feb or Jan or March. They are not getting projects, and company will obviously not give you money by if you don't work anything, don't work for any other
Yeah.
project, right? So if you don't have any problem in your current job, stay there and wait for this time to be good. Okay, and hopefully
Okay.
next year should be good.
Okay. 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 Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Got any other questions? I think there's no more questions. So just repeating again, if you have any question, just uh, ask. So okay, so let's ask me feedback. One feedback here, like, do you feel this like that this roadmap will help you?
Obviously, it's good.
Because I didn't want to mention any any resource, YouTube channel or some resources. I don't want to mention because these things you need to find it out. You need to ask people. You need to ask, okay, what are things are good or how they need to approach. But the thing is that what are the basic point you need to follow, that I try to cover, like learning the programming concepts, be you need to continue learning, you need to practice more, you need to cover from multiple sources, you need to make short notes. So these things are important things because it's this applies for any other learning. It's not only for automation or any other on automation or Java system. No, it's for anything. If you're going for DevOps also, so you'll not find everything available for DevOps. You will find some tutorials based on tools, right? If you see the Docker example only, right? So if you see some 2 years old Docker video, that may not be applicable now because it has been changed. Take the example of APM. When I first worked, I think before I think 4 or 5 years before I worked. Now it has been changed completely, right? And if you see the many YouTube channels or blogs, they are outdated. They have not updated as per the latest this one, right? So again, you need to be what do you call that? You need to be something expert so that if something is changing in future, you should able to recognize and can can learn yourself itself instead of depending upon other channels and all. Because what is the thing, like referring to official document? Okay, yeah, again one thing this I want to forgot to mention. Once you are done with the basic learning, always refer the official documentation. If you see, there's very basic question like what is difference between get and navigate, and everyone says that when you load any web page using get, it will wait for page to be loaded. That is not the case with the navigate. This is not correct. If you go and see the official documentation, it is clearly written there, both are synonyms. Okay, this is just navigation is just an interface, inner interface within the WebDriver, just to separate some um, navigation methods separately, like forward, back, or some refresh. That's the difference. It's not like that get will wait and to will not wait. No, it's
Both
not
are
like that. Yes, if you refer the how you'll get to know after referring the official documentation. And second thing, don't assume anything. If you write some 4 or 5 lines of code, you'll get this difference easily. But people want to just focus, follow whatever someone has said. No. And one thing, if you are stacking with some issue and referring some stack overflow answers, don't only refer the first answer, which is highly aborted, right? Go through all the answers, okay, and go through the comments as well. You'll find some new things and something. Many times I have learned some special things are hidden within the comment, which are not part of answer, but those things are mentioned in the comment. Okay, so you need to focus all these things. I need to follow as well. Okay. Okay, guys. So I think if you don't have any question, then we can wind up this session. And from next week,
Shreyansh.
I will I,
Hello,
I will start the yes.
Amos, Shreyansh here this side.
Yes,
So
I
I
understand
want
me.
to say that I've learned a lot from your blog, and I wanted to suggest to people also. So whatever information you will find in Amos blog, those information you will not find in any YouTube link or any even in any paid course also. So, Amol, I have gone through all your weight blogs. So, whatever blogs you have written on the WebDriver weight and Fluent weight, so all those I've implemented in my current company. And believe me that earlier, whatever hard weight I was using, so all those I have removed, and now I'm using WebDriver weight. So, execution time. So earlier, the execution time of the higher flow was 25 minutes. Now that time has been reduced from 25 minutes to 10 minutes by using just these type of weights. So I'm very thankful
Yeah,
to
that
you.
is great
And
actually.
yes, I've gone through all your fluent, whatever you've written, how to be fluent in fluent weight, part one and part two. All those I've checked it earlier. And so I've like mostly I've gone through all your API also, Postman as well as REST assured. So whatever information I'm getting in your blog, all those things are not there anywhere, Amod. Even I'm not finding in the official documentation also. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
kind
Amod.
words actually. So actually, when I started writing blogs, so the main point was in my mind. Everyone everyone doesn't have the similar kind of mind, right? Someone takes time, or someone needs every details to understand. Okay, so that's why I followed that thing, and that's why I put a lot of things there. And many people ask me that why you don't make videos, because see, when you are creating videos, so you need to you you cannot main thing, you cannot edit it easily. You can edit it, but you need to again cut, copy, paste, and all, and you need to be ready with all the content. But whenever I write, I generally research a lot, then I come up with all the points, and I try to summarize it for you people. Okay, so that
Yeah,
because whenever I write, so when I research, so obviously I get to learn so many things. And today recently only, when I was writing a post on serialization and deserialization, so there I got to got to know like how actually it is working. Everyone say that create an object mapper, object mapper class object, then call some read value, add value methods, and you are done. But actually, how it internally working, that matters here. So that I tried to explain because this was new to me. So I tried to explain my blog, and hopefully this will help people as well. So yeah, so that was the major concept, major idea behind writing lengthy post, because you'll find my posts are lengthy because I try to cover everything. I don't assume that whoever is reading my post, they will have some basic idea or they will know everything. I write generally for the common people, whoever they are, they should understand it. Yeah, thanks, Sans, for the kind words actually.
Thank you, Amol.
So guys, any other question?
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Amod. I wasn't able to speak all this
Yeah.
time. Some issues on my side, but yeah, I think I would resonate with what the other person said just now. I think you're doing great work, and you have been integral part of my job switch as well, which I just made recently. So one thing I'm very curious about, you know, the current situation is that what I feel is that I have a new framework which I just need to debug and understand, and start. There are some issues with the existing framework which I need to start and debug and start working. So can you give some tips on that?
So means I hope that you are aware of like whatever the programming language they have used in the framework or tools.
Correct. Yeah. They are using
Okay.
Java. That's it. It's just that the framework was developed like 2 or 3 years back. So even the team members don't have much idea about it. But I am the only one resource who need to fix this problem.
Okay. So do you
that's
have
to
at
give
least
you a very
what are things are lacking or what are things you need to add?
Yeah, so they have asked me to just debug and see if it's a data issue, you can fix it. If it's a code issue, then you need to take your time and come up with solutions. So what would be your approach if you are put into this kind of situation? So just some tips on what I should be doing, like going through all the methods or subclasses, or how do we handle it?
See, you added one term, data issue. So data issue means
Correct.
framework means how data are coming here. Framework means something you should support multiple applications or similar kind of applications, right? So
Right, data is
if you
coming
have,
from Cucumber. Actually, this is a Cucumber framework.
okay, so actually that is the thing here. When we talk about framework, okay, your framework can support Cucumber, okay, but if you have some feature files within your framework, then you are doing it wrong, okay, because suppose there are 3 applications, okay, in your company, so you're not going to share the feature file of one application to this two. Your framework should be separate in like plug and use. It should be separate for the application 1, application 2, application 3. Means the common files should be there, not that the feature file of first application should be part of second and third application. No, you should not include that part, that thing in framework. Framework must be separate.
Okay.
Okay. Second thing. So
Okay.
whenever you get a framework, right? So generally, if you automate some script, then only you get to know that what are missing in the framework. But if you don't have any application to automate, or you have only what do you call that, framework to see, or I don't know what you said for debug, maybe you are going to debug some script already written, so that may not help. But if you go and see the whatever method they have created, okay, like suppose utility
Correct.
methods, like generally framework should support your reading from JSON or reading from Excel, or some wrapper methods, or somehow they are handling the exceptions, or how reporting is working, okay, or some logger mechanism are there or not, okay. So these are things you can check at the broad level, okay, these things are available or not, okay. If these things are available, then go in the method and see that how they are implementing the logic, okay. If they've created some wrapper methods, so how they are creating the wrapper methods, okay. So those are things you
Right.
can refer it. suppose if you see the pom.xml only, so from there also you can see that okay, what are the libraries they are going to use, or how they are managing dependency, or how they are going to run the test, something like that. Okay, so go
Yeah, I
instead of
get
deep
your point.
debugging
Yeah.
will be something like executing the script and no, because if your scripts are passing, you never know that what was wrong in framework or how can you improve it. Okay, so when you're focusing on framework, focus on framework itself. Okay, whenever debugging some script and something is failing and you come to know okay, this is not because of some script, it's because framework is not working behavior. Like suppose if the framework has some wrapper method and that wrapper method is not proper. Okay, so that time you can handle it, that time you can think some other way. Okay, like this one, but keep the framework always separate from the scripts. Framework should not be merged with the script. You cannot call it framework then. Okay,
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah. So it's this that we just have you getting some defects. The existing framework is not, running correctly. So I need to debug and find the issues and fix it. That's it.
yeah, so generally it goes to like what are frameworks are providing utilities, find the bugs, find the problems in those, then you can run the scripts and you can also check that there also. And it will be good if you can ask people who have already used them, right? So from there, at least you, if you get some pointer also, they have faced this issue or they face some weight problems, then at least you can go and see that particular methods in your framework.
Yeah. So which okay. Yeah. Thanks, Amod, for that. So the second thing is that in case there is a code issue here. So if I make a change, so how aware I should be? Like I should be aware that what are the methods and classes that it is implementing. I should be changing them all throughout the places, right? So that's how a proper fix happen. Because to be honest, I haven't been in this situation before. It's
No,
the first
see, if
time
you are
I'm in.
going, there's many places, many situations comes like where you need to deprecate the old method or to implement the new method. So you cannot directly deprecate it, but you can create a new method and mark previous method deprecated so that people will get to know that this method is going to be removed in future version, so that they can also, because if you directly change something, so obviously it may break some scripts. Okay,
Exactly.
so you need to find the dependency, how much it is dependent. Okay, if it like it is like not easy to change, because that is the thing. If framework is very old or framework is not being developed in such a way that it cannot be scaled or it cannot be added new utilities, that is problem. But if it is not easy to change the method, then you can go for some overloaded method or you can have some new libraries created. Okay, so like that, because when people will keep write the script, so they will get okay, we need to avoid using the old utilities, these are the new utilities, like that. Like if you send them new versions, how they release it, they are saying that okay, we are going to remove this method from the future version, so if you are using it, remove it. Okay,
Yeah, I get
just
it.
like that you can do.
Thanks, Amos. Thank you so much.
No
I'll
problem.
keep following you because there's a lot of catch up. I think I do have the same experience as yours, but still lagging on a lot of areas. But yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, so just say generally these things can be, you can get more idea if you discuss with a lot of people. Okay, so because these are again the framework level change or mainly architectural design things, like how should you make the changes so that it's not impact the existing scripts. If it is impacting, then it should be minimal. Okay,
Yeah, Amos, I get it. Thank you. Yeah.
so guys, any other question? Okay, I think we are done. So from next session I am going to kickstart the CNM crash course. Okay, so most probably I will try to cover in 5 to 6 sessions, so that it will be helpful for the quick uh, what do you call that, quick learning and quick brush up as well. It will good for the interview perspective also. And yeah, if you are stuck, if you are not getting interview calls, or you are looking for some job information, drop me a mail that you want to join my Telegram group. I will share the link so that you can join it. Okay. Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining, and some good reviews also I can see. It is really it will really motivate me to continue these things. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, Amod.
Thank you, Amar. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Amar.